This trip is out to White Gum Farm, which is out in the wheat belt out of York, not too far away. But the best way to get there if you want to do a bit of off-road on the motorbike is to go from York and follow the Quairading railway line out. The railway line is now closed. It's been closed for quite a while. It's part of the three-tier system that they all seem to be fighting over, but it suits us because we're not expecting any trains. As I say, starting at Cold Harbour, which is just out of York on the Quairading Road, and if you follow the railway line from there along the tracks, it's a great ride. Mate Kim and I have done this a couple of times. You can actually ride all the way to Quairading and beyond. This is just out of York. There's a bit of a cutting there, so a little bit different sort of riding. A nice cool day. Not a lot of rain around, but there had been some in the past, the past few weeks, so we did encounter a little bit of mud here and there. If you're collecting the old dog spikes or dog head spikes that held the railway line, keep an eye out, there's plenty along here. It's a good track on the side of the railway line. It does cross from left to right a couple of times, so keep an eye out once you get further along which is the best side to ride, or unless you want to really go bush. There's a couple of hairier spots. Fairly flat, but a good ride, especially if you want to take somebody out that hasn't done a lot of riding, and it'll give them some experience. You run along the edge of the farmland most of the way. The actual distance from York to the Green Hills is about 17 k's. A little bit of sand along the way, and as I say, there will be a little bit of mud that you'll encounter further on. I'm on my XT250. Just be careful, there is a couple of road crossings. This is the actual York Quairading Road, so watch out for traffic. And this is a bit of a salty area and also very muddy, so you can either attempt it or go as we did up around the track and avoid a couple of spots. It can look firm, but you break through the crust and you can end up 6 to 8 inches down or up to the axles in mud. There is another track on the right hand side that you can see there as well. And doing a bit of a cross here to get onto the track on the other side. Done this track a few times in different seasons, and it's quite an interesting track. You see the old telegraph lines scattered along here still with the old porcelain plugs on the top. He wasn't actually turning right at any particular stage, just I think the old Hondas don't automatically turn off. And we're starting to get into some wetter areas through here. As I say, it's a great track if you want to bring some novices out here. There's not a lot of hills, but there's enough challenges just to make it interesting. Coming through here, it's starting to get really boggy and under the trees. And when you get to the light grey mud, you sort of know that is going to get boggy. We broke through it in a couple of places. So up on the railway line. and Kim lost a bit of traction here, but so he decided to go back down, and I gave it a go along a bit further. It is quite steep on the embankments, doesn't look it there, but it's some interesting riding. As I said, we're heading for first off the Green Hills Hotel, which you can get to by driving, if you want to, out the York Queriting Road. And they do some nice meals out there, pubs. You can actually camp in the car park there. A lot of people take their caravans out and camp as well. There's no charge. Not too many houses out there, but it's a nice stop-off spot for a beer or a coffee. And as you can see, that light grey mud just ahead of Kim, that's when it starts to get real dicey and you can sink down quite deep in it. So we decided to do a bit of the old Casey Jones and ride along the railway line. At 40 kilometres an hour, that's bone shaking. If you've got any loose nuts and bolts on the bike, this is about the time you're going to find out they're there. The camera dropped down by this time. We left the railway line because we wanted to come around the back into Green Hills. This is the old bakery out there, just a street or so behind the pub. It's just been restored, but as I say, you can follow the railway line all the way into Green Hills. A lot of work and a lot of effort's gone into restoring the old bakery here. Green Hills was a railway siding, and there was a small community out here, but it seems to be dying off more and more now the silos and the line's been closed. Bushfire Brigade on the left hand side there, and you can see the caravans in there. As I say, you can go out there and camp, there's no charge. I don't know what the rules are on tents, but I have seen them out there. Lovely old pub, well worth a visit. This is Sunday and it wasn't open until 11, so we decided we'd carry on out to White Gum. White Gum Farm's not that far away, so if you have a look on the map you'll soon find the dirt roads to get out there through the back way. We decided to pull up here and have a coffee. The railway line you'll see just over behind this embankment is the continuation of the line that we rode on. Just back along the railway line here, and we just went for a quick spin in the softer sand, have a play. And a bit of bush bashing. And then back out on the road heading for White Gum. It's White Gum Aviation. You'll find when you get out here it's very interesting. It's an aero club, there's ultralights out there, gyrocopters, there's an engine out of a large plane. On the day we were there, the club was in and they were all flying around, but the pub's open to anybody and it's well worth coming out. You can go for a gyrocopter flight. I think it's about $95 for a flight. There is a four-wheel drive track out here as well. They've got their own private one, camping, caravan park, and the pub here is quite unique. Great hosts at the pub. The grass, well, the AstroTurf here came from the old York Bowls Club. The dam over the back there, and some of the kids, you can bring the kids out here and they can have a swim and play in the boats that are provided. And so the caravan park over the back there. Great idea for a barbecue pit. This was our Corona weekend. Prices were great, food was excellent. Celebrating the end of coronavirus in WA, I think. Heading back, we again went around a few of the dirt roads and came back in across the Mackie siding into York the back way over the Avon River here. Not flowing yet, but it won't be far off. They'll need some more water than this before they start the Avon descent down in Northam. Then we followed the railway line back into York. Don't go riding on this one onto the tracks because it's still used as part of the line from York back towards Northam and Perth. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope you get out there for a beer. Enjoy.